Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, One Book or Novel at a Time. I will continue reading to you Goosebumps Most Wanted, Book 1, Planet of the Long Gnomes, and I will continue with chapter 16. And it starts like this. I blinked. I was standing in my bedroom. Dad filled the doorway. He squinted at me. I heard you laughing all the way downstairs. What's so funny? I shrugged. Nothing, I said. Just daydreaming. Must have been a funny daydream, Dad said. It was, I answered. It was a very funny daydream, but too bad. Only a daydream. Dad waved and went back downstairs. I sat down on my bed and thought hard. I didn't know what I wanted to do to get my revenge on McClatchy. I didn't have any weird spell book. That was just something my crazy brain dreamed up. But I knew I had to do something. I'm going over there. Maybe I'll think of something good when I get there. So guess what? What happened in chapter 15 wasn't real. It was all a dream. Let's see what else he comes up with. Oh, this Jay. I waited a while. I didn't want Mom or Dad to catch me. I knew I wasn't allowed at night, but I had to risk it. I wouldn't be able to sleep if I didn't. So after a while, I crept down the stairs, careful not to make the steps squeak. I peeked into the living room. Dad had fallen asleep with a magazine on his lap. I didn't see Mom. I turned and tiptoed to the kitchen. Mr. Phineas was curled up under the breakfast table. He was sound asleep, snoring noisily. I slipped past him and stepped out of the back door. I closed it carefully. Silently, I took a deep breath of the cool, crisp night air. My whole body tingled. I knew I was excited. My heart was thudding in my chest, this time for real. I turned and, pressing against the wall along the side of the house, made my way to the street. I could see the tall hedge and beyond it, the dark shape of McClatchy's house. What was I going to do there? What was I going to do to McClatchy? I still didn't know. I just knew I wanted to do something really bad. And that is the end of chapter 16. Chapter 17. It's getting good, right? I stopped at the hedge. My legs suddenly felt weak and rubbery. I was breathing noisily, my chest heavily up and down. I held my breath when I heard a flapping sound overhead. Beating wings. Was it a bat? A buzzard hawk? I pressed my back into the prickly hedge and waited for it to fly away. Then I turned towards McClatchy's house. Pitch black. Not a light on anywhere. The front yard stretched in shades of black and gray. I should have brought a flashlight. I can see a thing. My sneakers scraped the driveway as I began to walk towards the house. I still had no idea what I planned to do. I'm not really a bad kid. Sure, I got in a lot of trouble in the old neighborhood, and today. But I don't try to be bad. I mean, I'm not evil or anything. But tonight, I knew I was doing the right thing. This man had kicked my dog. Kicked him really hard, and he deserved to be punished for it. Staring up at the dark house, I made my way, step by step, up the driveway, walking slowly, carefully. I didn't see the man standing in front of me until I bumped right into him. Oh! I uttered a startled cry. I'm sorry! He didn't speak. He didn't move at all. I didn't mean to bump you, I stammered. But then, in the pale light from a street lamp at the curb, I saw that it wasn't a man at all. It was a lawn gnome. How did it get in the middle of McClatchy's driveway? I squinted hard at it. The little man's eyes appeared to glow in the dim light. His pointed hat was tilted on his head. His mouth was turned down in an angry scowl. I glanced around. McClatchy had two lawn gnomes. I didn't see the other one. Maybe it was hidden in the blackness under the tall hedge. I put my hand on the gnome's hat and squeezed the top. To my surprise, the hat felt soft, not hard as plaster. Suddenly, I had an idea. I pulled a black marker from my jeans pocket. I had brought it along in case I found something to mark up. And now I had found it. This lawn gnome. I giggled to myself. I pulled the top off of the marker. My plan was to paint the dude's white mustache, make it bigger and black, and make his eyes cross, and blacken a few of his front teeth. This would definitely make McClatchy angry. If I could find the other gnome, I marked him up too. Then maybe I could break off the gnome's ugly hats. I break off their pointy hats and leave them on the ground in front of them. That idea made me giggle again. If McClatchy wants to mess with my dog, it's only fair that I mess with his lawn gnomes. I raised the marker and moved it to the gnome's mustache. I wouldn't do that if I were you, the gnome rasped. Its hand shot up and grabbed me by the throat. That is the end of chapter 17. What was that? The lawn gnome came alive? Let's read chapter 18 and find out. Huh? I started to choke as a sharp pain swept down my neck. The gnome's fingers were bone hard. He tightened his grip, squeezing my throat. I couldn't breathe. I tried to squirm away, but he clamped his hand even tighter. He had amazing strength for such a little creature. I trashed my arms, tried to punch him, but he held me out in front of him, choking me. His dark eyes glowed with excitement. His whole face was clenched tight from his effort to hold me in place. Please! I could feel my face grow hot. I struggled to hit him, but my arms felt weak. I was going limp. No air, no air. The pain was intense. I shut my eyes. To my surprise, the pain suddenly grew lighter. The gnome let me go. I stumbled back and dropped to my knees. The lawn gnome stood over me, clenching and unclenching his fist. He, he, he. His mouth opened in a hoarse chuckle. It sounded like a chicken gasping for air. I tried to rub the pain from my throat. On my knees, we were about the same height. He chuckled again, his eyes catching the light from the street. How can this be? Lawn gnomes can't come to life. I knew it wasn't a dream. I was in too much pain to be dreaming. Rubbing his beard, the gnome moved towards me. Was he going to choke me again? I jumped to my feet, my mind whirring in panic. I spun away from him. I turned to run, but I bumped right into the other lawn gnome. He let out an ugly grunt and wrapped his hands around my waist. His hands were hard as steel. He grunted again and tried to lift me off the ground, gripping me around the middle. He pressed his face against my arm as he struggled to raise me. His cheek was warm. It felt like human skin. His breath was sour and disgusting. He uttered grunt after grunt. Let go! I screamed. I brought both hands up and shoved him hard under his beard. It caught him by surprise. His hands fell away. I gave him another hard shove. It sent him toppling into his partner. They both made awkward grabs for me, but I dodged away. And then I ran faster than I'd ever run. My feet slid on McClatchy's lawn and then pounded the driveway. I ran through the blackness of the night, not seeking anything, not thinking, just moving on, fear and shock. I crossed the street, panting hard. I started up my front lawn. I could hear them behind me, chattering as they chased after me. I heard the clatter of their boot on the pavement, then the pounding of footsteps as they ran over the grass. I froze in panic, then forced myself to move. I leaped onto my front porch. If I could only get through the front door into the house, I'd be safe. I grabbed the door handle, then screamed in horror. What was that about? Did they come to life? Is Jay having another dream? Well, I'll leave you with that. That is the end of chapter 18. We will continue next time with chapter 19. Thank you for tuning in to One Book or Novel at a Time. Remember, everybody's a reader. Some of you just haven't found the right book. What if Goosebumps Most Wanted is that right book or that right series, because this is a series. There's more than one book here. This is only book 1. So thank you for listening, and once again, if you have not subscribed to One Book or Novel at a Time, once this video finishes, go ahead and hit subscribe so that you can view and listen to more videos and more read alouds. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an awesome day.